all caught me at a moment where I am super excited, mainly because the very first video that I posted last Friday has officially hit 100 views. And I know that that's not a lot to you all or the people who usually do YouTube, but it's absolutely everything to me, because I did not expect for people to actually go out and watch, especially not getting to 100 people this quickly. And I appreciate you all so much. Anyone who has subscribed, anyone who has watched, left a comment, encouraging words, I am so grateful to you all. I hope that I do you proud, and I hope that I continue to be able to bring content that engages you and help. After a while, after I get through with this series of what I'm doing now, having to do with my marriage and the things that I'm going through, I'll eventually start to take comments and things and see what you all want to talk about. But as for right now, I wanted to go ahead and talk about these things because there's a lot of people that have reached out to me concerning their marriage and how things are. So I want to be completely transparent through all of this. So with that being said, before we get started and get into all of the details, if you all could like, share, and subscribe, that'll be awesome, so that we can go ahead and you all can get notifications. Make sure you turn on your notifications so that you can know exactly when I'm doing a new video. It can pop up first for you, and you can always save it to your watch later so that you can look at it at a better time for you. So without further ado, what I'm going to go talk about today is I'm going to talk about what happened, and I'm going to talk about like the early stages of my marriage and my relationship. And as these videos become available, you'll get to see like what happened. And it's not like everyone else's, because there is no black and white in divorce and separation for me. It's all a gray area because everyone's situation is different. So get comfortable, because I believe in being honest. I believe in telling my truth and living in my truth and owning my truth. So you might as well just get ready, take off your shoes, relax, hold the camera up, because it's going to get real personal, and with some truths and some revelations are going to be told today. So I met my now husband, because we are not legally divorced yet, but I met him in 2011. Our relationship moved very quickly. Our relationship moved very quickly to the point where I feel like we didn't have an opportunity to become best friends before we were pushed into life. Now, I'm not the only person that has happened to, and it can happen to a lot of people, and you just deal with it. But I was younger than he is. I am 10 years younger than he is. And the same year that we met, I found out I was pregnant with our son later on in that year. The next year we were buying a house. The next year we were getting married. So things moved very quickly. This is a 9-year relationship, 6 years married. So it's not a relationship that came or went, quickly. So upon getting into the marriage and everything, I felt like, I was younger than he was, and so I felt like it was great to have someone who you could depend on financially to be able to do the things. When I first met him, there was nothing that he wouldn't do for me. I felt like he went above and beyond to spend time with me and to be able to be a part of me and my daughter's life. And that just attracted me to him and made me wanted to know more about him, wanted me to just, eventually was the reason that I fell in love with him. Once I found out I was pregnant with my son, he immediately took on the role of father and did what he needed to do for my son, for me, for my daughter. And it was just those things about him that made me fall in love. Now, one thing I want you all to know is that we have that knight in shining armor thing, where someone comes and they're the opposite of what you had. And so they naturally feel like the best thing since sliced bread. But when doing that, we have to be very careful not to allow ourselves to feel like we owe them something because they brought us out of a worse place. No matter what, we have to understand that we are also the prize. We are also people. We also need to have like love and affection. Money is not everything. Trust me, money does not bring you happiness. Oh, it's nice to have. Now, don't get me wrong. And it buys you amazing things, some beautiful things. I was just thinking about all the beautiful things that money buy me. But it doesn't bring you happiness. It does not bring you happiness. Take it from me. It does not bring you happiness. So going on throughout the relationship, you can love someone so much to the point where you tell yourself, whatever it is that their happiness look like, that is also your happiness. From the beginning, I always knew that I needed a man that was romantic. I knew I needed a man who was affectionate. I knew I needed a man that was going to just be hands-on and love me and supportive. And I got someone who was financially, all of those things, supportive and financially stable and all of that. But as far as anything else, I didn't have that. Now, this is where I have to take responsibility for what I did as well. This man wasn't romantic when I met him. This man wasn't romantic when I was dating him. This man wasn't romantic when I was married to him, engaged to him, or either one of those. But I told myself, I am going to love him so hard that he's going to want to do all these romantic things for me. I'm going to bring it up out of him. I'm going to show him romantic things and do romantic things for him. And it's going to make him want to do it too. That does not work. Take it from somebody who did that for 9 years. It does not work. It's either in him or in you, or it's not. We had very different views about what was the most important thing about marriage, what was the most important thing about our relationship, what was the most important relationship, which I feel like after your relationship with God, your relationship with your spouse is the most important relationship, because it's the only relationship you get to choose. You can't choose who your children are. You can't choose who your sisters and brothers and all of that are. You can only choose who you decide to spend the rest of your life with. So I feel like that was the one that needed to be nurtured the most, because you actually got to choose who you spend the rest of your life with. Well, that wasn't necessarily the case. Now, I don't want to say my soon-to-be ex name, and I don't want to constantly refer to him as my soon-to-be ex. I don't want to call him my ex, because he's not my ex-husband yet, but he's my soon-to-be ex. But I don't want to call him that. So I feel like you all are my friends, whether I know you or not. I feel like you all are my friends. So we're going to refer to him as you all's friend-in-law. So being with you all's friend-in-law for 9 years made me figure out something about myself. It made me figure out that my happiness was the last thing on my mind. I was really and truly concerned about just making sure someone was happy. And that means that the relationship always worked for him. Anytime I would come to him and let him know that I was not happy and something wasn't right, I wasn't feeling something, he would always say, why? He would always refer it back to the things he bought. Why? I pay all the bills. Why? I bought you a new car. Why? I bought you a house. Why? And you was like, oh, and then you start thinking to yourself, am I being ungrateful because I'm asking him for love and affection, and he has bought all these things and he works so much? It's not a good feeling. Now, in 2017, I started to just think more and more about my happiness and what my happiness looked like. Let me tell y'all something. In 2014, that's when I got married to my husband. The first year, and y'all about to look at me and say, are you kidding me? But the first year of our marriage, we were not intimate. The marriage was consummated the night of the marriage. But after that, it was a full year, over a year, that there was no intimacy. And now, when you're in love, stupid me, when you're in love, you'll tell yourself, well, sex isn't everything. Intimacy isn't everything, because intimacy is so much more than sex. But you'll tell yourself, it isn't everything, I know he loves me, and sex isn't everything. Maybe he's just tired. But if it's important to you, intimacy is important in a marriage. But I sat there unhappy and horny. Oh, Lord, I didn't want to say that, but I did. Okay, so unhappy and horny for a year because my husband didn't want Never do that to somebody you love, because whether or not you feel like it is or not, it's messing with them mentally, emotionally, physically. It messed with them. But I stood there and I took that because this was my husband and this is my husband, and whatever his idea of happiness looked like, that's what my ideal of happiness looked like, until it no longer worked for me. And I know what you all are thinking. Oh, so you didn't talk to him about it? You didn't do anything about it? Not quite. If anyone know me personally, you know that I would never be the kind of woman that would leave a situation without trying everything in me to make it work. But I'm going to tell you all where it all began to fall down for me. And then you all will understand how someone can have someone who makes all the money, controls all the money, but does everything that he's supposed to do as far as, you would initially look and say that a man's supposed to do, but how a woman or a person can still be unhappy. So that's how I'm going to end this video. But the next video, we're going to start going into 2018. 2018 is when I looked up and said, you know what, let me place this crown firmly on my head again. Something ain't right. And I know I'm too dope to be feeling the way that I'm feeling. And I'll go through it and I'm going to be completely honest with you all. I'm going to let you all know exactly what I was feeling, exactly what was going through my mind. Any truths or revelations that I had to ask for, I'm going to go ahead and be truthful with you all. But at the beginning, that was the issue that I did. I want to thank you all for coming and watching this video a second time. I will be posting another video within this same week, and it will go more into detail about the actual demise and what happened in the marriage. I hope this helps someone who may be going through something, but I'll see you all back here next week, and I hope you enjoy. Leave me comments and let me know what you all are thinking. Make sure you turn on your notifications, share the video if it's something you think that's helpful to someone else, but let me know what you all are thinking, and I appreciate you all spending this time with me right now. So bye.